So a very good afternoon to one and all present here. A very warm welcome once again. Myself, Rashi Mundra, Program Coordinator at LSI Institute, will be your host for the day. So it gives me immense joy and pleasure to have you all here for the Masterclass webinar. At LSI, we are collaborated with Nagendas Khanwala College, a college affiliated to the University of Mumbai for the BSc, MSc and PGD courses in Integrative Nutrition and Dietetics. Nagendas Khanwala College, Mumbai was founded in July 1983 and is one of the best colleges in the western suburbs of Mumbai. It has been imparting quality education since the last 4 decades. The college is affiliated to the University of Mumbai and re-accredited by UGC NAC with A grade. The college has shown tremendous growth in a short span of time and has been conferred with the autonomous college status in 2016-2017. Today, we have with us Dr. Akshat Chadha, who's going to be talking about dealing with work from home stress. Let me quickly give an introduction about him. So Dr. Akshat Chadha, the head of medical vertical at LCHHS, has over 10 years of experience in the field of medicine with an MBBS and MBA in healthcare management with expertise in lifestyle medicine. He is a doctor with a twist. As a doctor, he has done extensive work in the field of lifestyle and disease management with special emphasis on diabetes, thyroid, PCOD, and obesity. A strong believer in mind-body connect. His treatment methodology includes training his patients' minds while treating them for physical ailments and illnesses, with his primary focus always being the patient. An advocate of preventive healthcare, Dr. Akshat has been instrumental in helping patients all across the globe to build immunity to fight any passing disease and preventing complications, especially in chronic diseases and keeping them at bay. Once again, a very warm welcome to you, Dr. Akshat.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you for having me again.
Great. So we'll just start with a poll. Okay, so let us have a poll on understanding first what is the issue that we are going through when it comes to work from homes. Okay. Yeah. So I hope all of y'all can see the poll. We have quick 20 seconds. Okay, I can see answers coming in. Quick. Okay. Okay, we have Manasa saying no boundary between work and personal life. I'm sorry, that's not an option here. Okay. Okay, super. We'll end the poll now. Okay, great, amazing. So I'm sure, we would all want to see what the results are. And I'm sure, Dr. Akshat, it will be really beneficial for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so quick second. So we have a lot of people complaining of neck pain, eye issues, anxiousness, increased weight, everything. Wow.
And that's the point that Mansa made is actually very true. There are no boundaries. That's what we have to discuss today.
Correct. Absolutely. So I'll just let the stage be over to you, Dr. Akshat, now.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. So quickly, I will talk for, I think, 15-20 minutes, and then we'll take some of your questions so that we can wrap it up by 4:30. Keep the timelines in. Okay. Now, honestly, today's discussion, anybody who wants to, please open your, put your video on. I think that would be a good idea. I like a little interaction also. So please go ahead and do that. All right. So what we're going to be talking about today is this: what is this work from home? Why is it such a form of stress? Okay, and why has it become such a big form of stress also? Okay, so let me just share my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Can I get a thumbs up? Yes, something like that. Okay, perfect, great. Okay, so work from home is not a new thing. Okay, so this is a very simple PPT that I've made to give you all. I have not used a single picture for a reason, because I want you all to understand the words. Okay, so what is this work from home? Obviously, you're doing X amount of work, but you're sitting at home and you're doing it. Okay, simple. But why is it such a source of stress? So work from home is not something new. Work from home has been there for many years. For many years, people have been working from home. Okay. And it is one of the good choices that people want to make. Okay. But what happened is because of COVID, it was not a choice anymore. Okay. It was a compulsion. We were not allowed to go out to work. We were not allowed to go out to the office. I was not allowed to, for a brief period, I was not allowed to go to my clinic. Okay. So the first thing why it became a stress factor was it was not by choice. So if something is put on us, which is not our choice, then it becomes a stress. Okay. So that was the first thing. Second is what happened. It was very sudden. It was unexpected and it was a big change. Okay. So the entire lockdown, the entire COVID was very unexpected. Okay. It still till date continues to be uncertain. Okay. And the biggest thing is you're not only working from home, but you're very restricted. You can't really go out as much as you would want to go, or rather, what you were doing. Okay. Even today, of course, things are opening up, but you don't really have that, that kind of freedom, just get up and go, that's a big restrictive feeling. Okay. Then the other thing is the fear. We still, of course, the vaccines are in, people are taking it, not taking it, but that fear is still, it's like it's hovering around us. So that is one of the reasons why this work from home is becoming a constant stress. So a lot of people on the poll have marked anxiousness. So when you say anxiousness, okay, feeling low, feeling anxious, feeling stressed, feeling a lot of tension, you don't even know what a trigger is. Suddenly you get a thought and then you start feeling that. You get palpitations, you can get heart rate increase, anything can happen. So what happens? Why is that happening? Because of uncertainty, because of fear of the unknown. We don't know what we are going towards. We don't know what to expect. We feel things are going out of our control. Okay. We feel helpless. And that is the main source of anxiousness. Okay. Apart from that, there is a norm, like, of course, now it has changed, but 2 years before the COVID, work from home was, not considered as important. So it was like, if you're doing some important work, you have to be in office, which of course, I mean, the point is, it has obviously changed, right? Now we are doing very important work sitting at home also. Okay. So that's another point that we have to always remember. Okay. Then one more point is, now, since we are at home, the expectations of the people, if you see the last point, expectations of the people around us, whether it's our parents, our in-laws, our kids, our maids for that matter also. Now, because we are in and around the same environment, the expectations change. Sometimes the way you said, there is no boundary. A personal life and a professional life, there's no boundary in both the ways. We don't know when to stop. We don't know when to stop working, and people don't know when to let us work. Okay. So both the things are there because that's a changing expectation around us. Okay. Which is again a very big source of the physical issues. So we looked at the poll, we looked at the pain, hip pain, all what is physically kind of affecting us. So let's talk about physical first, and then we'll go back to how the mind is again getting affected, how the gut is getting affected, how our weight is getting affected. Okay. First is physical issue. So when we talk about first most important thing that changed is posture. Okay. We are sitting on a bed, we are sitting on a dining chair, we are slouching into the sofa. All these things are happening. Why? Because we don't have our office chair anymore. Of course, now it's been 1.5, 2 years, we are living like this. So hopefully, we've kind of made few changes which should start reducing the posture. Okay. But biggest is that we don't have the right kind of, half the people don't have the right kind of furniture. Of course, I don't always blame the furniture. I always say there are ways to correct your posture. Okay. Most important thing, keep your laptop at the eye level, make sure your back is supported. Few things like that is something which is extremely important. So what I'm going to try and do is, let's talk about the issues, but let me give you the solutions right away. Okay. I have another slide, but that's okay. Okay. So when you talk about posture, the first most important thing is something called, as the fancy word is called, ergonomic furniture, right? But do you really need it? No. What you need is your feet. When you're sitting on a chair, your feet should touch the ground. As much as possible, your feet should touch the ground. If it's not touching the ground, you can actually sit cross-legged on the chair, if that's a possibility. Okay. Second is your eye should be at the level of your laptop. So hopefully this is good for me. Okay. Third is when you're typing. Okay. When you're typing, try to avoid this. When you're typing on your laptop, when you're typing on your phone, whatever it is, this movement, so when you're going down, what happens is your head is actually supported by the neck, right? So when you're putting your head down, the amount of weight, so suppose just a number, if your head weighs 10 kilos, suppose, when your head goes down, your neck is actually supporting more than 20 kilos. It's double the weight. So the stretch on the neck is a big issue. Okay. So the neck gets stretched, your shoulders start to intern. Maybe when you're typing, if you don't have enough space, you tend to intern your shoulders like this. Okay. The minute you see this movement happening, that's again a big issue. Okay. People already with cervical spondylosis, all these issues, nerve pinch and all these issues will get aggravated. Okay. So getting your posture corrected, very important. Slouching, going into your chair, lower back pain, going into hip pain, sitting for 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours at a stretch, lower back pain, very big problem. Hip pain, very big problem. Finally, it will go into even your knee pain, because when you're sitting, everything increases, the stiffness increases, the blood circulation goes down. Okay, so you have to make a rule that you have to get up every 30 minutes. Okay, not 30 minutes, but every 60 minutes, 90 minutes, you have to get up, stretch a little bit, walk, find ways to be creative, to find reasons to walk. Okay, you want to get water, you want to go to the washroom, you want to talk to someone, you want to get on a call. Doesn't have to be a video call, an audio call. You have to plan your work a little bit. Okay, so breaking the monotony of sitting is going to help you with things like belly fat, your circulation, your sedentary, your joints, everything. Okay, extremely, very, very important. Okay, then we talk about same, because of the line, again, assuming that it's work from home, so you're either using your phone or your laptop, right? So the way you put your fingers on the laptop also, there can be a compression on the wrists. So please be careful if there's tingling in the fingers happening, if there's numbness happening and all, please make sure that your posture is corrected. If you need to add a little support, you can definitely add a little support. No problem. Your fingers will get better also. Okay. You have the smiley balls, those, the way the kids play for it, the kids play with. That's a good stress buster also. You should just squeeze it, but it's actually a good exercise for your fingers and your arms, your upper arm, basically, forearms. That's going to help you a lot. So just kind of, 10 squeezes twice a day in between your work. Excellent stress buster and good for your arms. All right. Then you talk about one of the biggest issues. I think Luke just released a very important video on this also. Everybody must watch it. Okay. It's eye problems. All right. The amount, I mean, I cannot overemphasize this also. The amount of issues that we can get into because of the amount of screen exposure that we have is a lot. And my biggest concern now, one is work from home, but the other is school from home. So little kids getting exposed to so much exposure is a big problem. So I really don't have a solution to that, but all I can say is that when you know you don't need a screen, avoid it. When you know you have to use it, use it. But when you have a choice, absolutely, please avoid it. The lesser the usage, the better. Okay. Now, another way of you say you reset your eyes. Okay. You always should have about 10-15 minutes of sun exposure. So go out in the sun, don't look at it directly. Don't do that. Don't go in that 12 baje ka, 2 baje ka dhoop, in the kadakta dhoop, none of that. Just go in the sun, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Whenever there's light sun, just go for a light stroll. Even that will help you reset the eyes also. Okay, so that's very important. Of course, it helps you reset the sleep, but this is something very important for the eyes. Okay, natural light. All right. When you're sitting, make sure you follow the 20-20-20 rule. Okay, so every 20 minutes you have to look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. What is it? 20 minutes, 20 feet away for 20 seconds. The only way to relax your eye muscles is actually look far away. Huh? All your focus and all that you're doing is actually straining the eyes, which is natural. That's how you do it. So if you want to relax it, you got to look far away. Okay. Of course, there is things like eye yoga. You look up, down, right, left, diagonally. All that is very good. Please go ahead and keep doing it. But the 20-20-20 rule is extremely important. A little bit of cold compression, just take some ice, wrap it in a towel, light compression. If you have rose water, dip some cotton in it, place it on the eyes. Cucumber, we've always used cucumber even in spas and all. Kakadi, keep it on the eyes. It really cools you down. These are all little hacks that you can do to protect yourself. Okay. Dry eyes, if you feel it's dry, it's itchy, please avoid itching your eyes as much as possible. Okay. Even if it's getting really itchy, be very, very gentle. Like this is what you have to do. Do not do this. This is going to cause problems. Okay. Be very gentle. take water on the palm of your finger, just put it like this, put your eye inside and rapidly blink inside that. Okay. So if there is some irritation, if there's some dryness and all, it will kind of get rinsed. So make sure you're rinsing your eyes. Okay. That's very, very important. All right. There are some eye drops, which I obviously don't recommend that you self-use it. If there is a problem, you show it to the ophthalm, let them prescribe, whether it is for the dry eyes or whatever, let them prescribe, then you use it as per prescription. Okay. The screen, the dimness, the brightness, not too dim, not too bright. Okay. The surroundings, don't be in a very bright area also, and don't be in a very dingy area also. Okay. So these are the things. See, your eyes are very, very intelligent. If they're telling you there's a problem, hear it and do something about it. Okay. That's extremely important. Okay. Then headaches. Now, neck pain can go into a headache, BP trouble can go into a headache, acidity can go into a headache, eye problems can go into a headache. Okay. So if there is a cause for the headache, please sort that out. Okay. You might not have any issues, but just too much of focus, too much of work, too much of Zoom meetings, WhatsApp calls, whatever it is, too much of it happening on one day can go into a headache. Dehydration, you're just not drinking enough water. If you're not drinking enough water, that's going to be a big issue. Okay. So be extremely careful about your water intake. Okay. Headaches, if you really have a problem, if it's constantly happening, headaches going into the people suffer from migraines also. Okay. If you need to take some, like a paracetamol or something, that's okay. But try now to make it a habit. Try to get in touch with your doctors to find out if you can't find out the cause, then find out, sit with your doctor and discuss it, because just popping painkillers is not going to solve the problem. Okay. Then spoke about increased weight and belly fat. You're going to sit through the day, your meal timings are haywire, you're not eating on time, you're not sleeping on time. Okay. Again, we talk about boundaries over here. Okay. If you're just going to work, and you're going to stay up till 12 a.m., 1 a.m. because you can, and then morning you have to get up, belly fat is one of the easiest ways to ruin your health. Okay. And lack of sleep or erratic sleep can really worsen the belly fat. Okay. So we have to be extremely careful about how sedentary we are, how much is our fat increasing around the belly. See, weight is okay. Of course, weight is a very important parameter when you're not exercising. Okay. But suppose you say you're exercising, there's a chance that the muscle level goes up. Okay. But visually, if you can see your belly fat getting increasing, if you feel your shirt's a little tight, a little tighter, it could be the side fat, it could be the back fat, anything. If the shirt is getting tighter, the pants, when you tie the belt, of course, I mean, you're working from home, you might not need a belt also, I don't know, but sometime you should try the belt and see, if it's becoming a little tighter, that means you're putting on belly fat. Okay. So be extremely careful about belly fat and your weight. Now, when I say weight, obviously, please don't keep checking it. But let's say, once in a month, once in 2 months, it's a good idea to know how much your weight is. Okay. Especially if you're not exercising. All right. Then we talk about gut issues. Now, gut issues, as we all know, I think Luke mentions this almost every time, he talks, because literally everything starts and ends with the gut. Okay. And when we are working from home, see, technically, it's not only working from home, but today we are talking about working from home is because we are just sedentary. We are not moving. We don't have to go speak to a colleague. We don't have to do anything. It's everything is on the phone. We are barely getting up to even drink water. Our spouses or our mothers or fathers or maids are actually giving us food also, So these are the troubles that are further causing gut issues, because when there is no movement happening. So when you move, your gut moves along with you, right? So what is the meaning of gut moves along with you? When you talk about digestion, peristalsis is a very important part of digestion, which means whatever you eat needs to get broken down and get digested. So for that process to happen, you actually need your stomach, your intestines to move also. But when you are getting lazy, when you are not moving, your stomach follows that. On top of that, if you are anxious, if you are feeling low, your mind is so slow, automatically the gut becomes worse. Okay. So that's the mind gut connect, which is so important. It's impossible to kind of emphasize again on this. So if you feel acidity, indigestion, excessive burps are happening. Some burps, absolutely okay. But if you feel it's too excessive, you kind of get like a vomity feeling in the mouth, like a nausea happening, that's a problem. Okay. Bloating. Again, a little bit of gas here and there after meals is actually pretty okay. If you can pass it out, very good, no problem at all. But if you feel it's getting entrapped and you're getting bloated and the stomach is getting rigid, it's causing the pain, Now that is an important source that needs to be treated. Okay. If you have constipation or you're not being able to pass motions, like it's incomplete, you have passed it, but you feel there's something left behind. If this happens again once in a while, please don't think it's a problem. But if it is happening again and again and again consecutively, then that's an issue. Okay. So we need to be extremely careful about all these physical issues. Now, why do I feel that physical issues should be brought up first? Because it's the mind body connect, right? If you're physically also you're feeling unwell, it automatically goes and irritates the mind. And then when the mind is getting irritated, it automatically comes and further irritates your body also. So whether it's like a chicken and a hen story, which happens first. But the point is, whichever happens first, both will get irritated. Okay. I think last time also I tend to use this example. Piku is a very clear example of the movie Piku, where Amitabh Bachchan is there. It's a very clear example of the mind and the gut connect. The minute he feels better, he can pass motions better. That's actually he goes for that cycling and all he does. He feels better, he passes motion, and he feels better in the mind, and vice versa. Okay, so that's a very important connect that we have to always maintain in our mind. Now we talk about issues affecting the mind. Okay, unfortunately, we don't give as much importance of physical issues. We give more importance to the mental issues, which is okay. But I frankly feel if we can do both simultaneously, that will make a huge difference to an individual. Okay. So what are the things that we're looking at? So one, we said, anxiousness, feeling low. A lot of people use the word depression and all also. Okay. It's all happening. Okay. A lot of multitasking. Now, what is the meaning of multitasking? And why do I think it is negative? So I'm a very strong chronic multitasker, and I've seen myself suffer a lot. Okay. I have seen myself redo things again and again while I'm working. Why? Because I was multitasking. So I didn't have concentration on the one thing. So I had to repeat it because I made a mistake. Okay. So that's very important. So multitasking is one. But what is the second issue in multitasking when you're working from home? So a lot of times what happens is that because there are no boundaries, okay, someone or the other is coming to call you, or there is a bell happening, no one is opening it, you get irritated, or there's a parcel coming, or you've ordered vegetables, now everything is online, right? So when vegetables come online, so you have to get up and go. So a lot of times if you choose to do this and you say I'm going to manage everything, okay, and of course women are the ones who kind of take up more responsibility, and I urge every woman who's attending also to distribute and delegate also. But if there are men, I can say that I try to do a lot of multitasking even today. But I've seen, a lot of quality of my work reduces when this happens. Okay. So to reduce multitasking, we have to understand that there has to be a way to schedule things a little better, delegate things a little better. Otherwise, multitasking is going to be a huge negative for you. Okay. Then lack of focus, brain fog, lack of concentration. Now, this is another kind of what we feel is when we are handling too much. If you're handling more than what we're supposed to handle, which is again under the multitasking also, trying to do things simultaneously or just trying to do more. Okay. Sleep issues, second thing, which can really irritate your focus, brain fog, and concentration. Okay. So there are a lot of times I open an email, or someone opens an email, and they have, they get a notification or something, WhatsApp comes, and they've actually forgotten why the email was opened. There are times when we go into the kitchen and we open the fridge and we have forgotten, what did I come to take? So when these things are happening, please don't think the worst. You're not getting dementia, you're not getting Alzheimer's. Don't go into the worst case scenario. What you need to understand is, why are we doing so much at one time? That is what we need to understand. Okay, so be extremely careful of what all is going on in this little thing. See, please understand, we think this is the mind, और अपना पूरा ऐसे infinite जगह है. नहीं. You have finite mind space. Let me tell you this very frankly. You don't have the world ka jagah. Nahin. Okay. Now imagine your cupboard. Okay. You put your stuff inside, kapda vada sab, if everything is good, you set it, everything is good, then it gets spoiled, you set it again. Okay. But then you buy new clothes. You're ordering new clothes. Okay. And then there is no space. So what is going to happen is either things will start falling, or you will have to do either spring cleaning, or you'll have to donate stuff or something. Kuch na kuch to aapko karna padega jagah banane ke liye. Now the same way, your mind is exactly the same way. If you don't declutter your cupboard, you don't declutter your mind, you're in for trouble. Mind का क्या होता है कि if you don't declutter, things start going into the subconscious space, and especially if you don't declutter as a form of expression also. सब अंदर दबा के रखा है, suppress करके रखा है, it goes into the subconscious, and that is the past which starts troubling your future. So a lot of people with anxiousness and fear of uncertainty future is actually because of a lot of things suppressed inside and a lot of things which have happened in the past. Okay, so anybody going through anything which is suppressed, you need to say it out loud, express it out loud, write it down, whatever needs to be done, but you need to empty yourself out. The more mind space you have, the more you will be able to handle things on a day-to-day basis also. So a lot of times, again, I've seen this for women more than men, because men, I think they just lock themselves in. I don't know why women don't do it, but a lot of times women tend to be more available, for the child or the spouse or whatever. So a lot of times what happens is that the woman is working and the child comes in, they want to say something, yeah, school ka kuch ho gaya and all, and the woman snaps at the child. Obviously she didn't want to snap, right? And then what happens is after that she's only feeling guilty. So what have we done essentially? Nothing. It's all been a negative vicious circle. So on the contrary, if you have more mind space, okay, if you are more settled in your work a little bit, if you boundary, lock your door. If it's a 2-hour, 4-hour thing, you lock it, no problem. Unless it's an emergency, that's a different thing. But if you lock it, then when you go out and your child is waiting for you, probably it's a little bit more pleasant. Okay. Now, of course, I'm saying this, it's easy to say. I know there are a lot of different situations that we are all faced with, but that's the thing, right? Choose your situations, choose your days, choose when you can do something and when you can't do something. Okay. So that's what is the most important thing. You have to choose. A lot of people say, I don't have a choice. ठीक है. Out of 10 times, शायद आपको 2 बार choice नहीं होगा. But 8 बार तो choice था ना. Why didn't you take the choice? So at the end of the day, it is going to be your decision how to work around it. Okay. And once you get a handle on this, all these fogging and everything will start to get better. Okay. Of course, you have meditation, you have breathing exercises where you're literally calming your system, your nervous system. You're shifting from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system. Very important. You don't have to do it like a Baba. Just do 10 minutes of meditation if you want to use an app. That's okay. But how do you relax the mind so that it gets more space is important. Breathing also, no need to go into pranayama. 5 deep breaths in the morning, 5 in the night, just basic stuff. But just let more oxygen go inside, let more oxygen go into the brain and throw out the carbon dioxide. Now, now we have something called as a hybrid work mode, right? So there are times where you're going to office and there are times where you're working from home. I think that's a good idea. That's very good because again, boundaries get set over there also, right? But the people who are wearing masks throughout, when you're home, make sure you're doing breathing exercises without the mask because you need more oxygen to go inside, okay? So you have to be very careful, okay? Then you have, again, lack of space. It's the same thing, physical and personal. So when you don't lock yourself inside, you're leaving yourself to, okay, chalo, come in. You're letting people encroach over your physical space also, okay? Then what I mean by personal spaces, we are always at home now. We are always together. So even from a spouse perspective or like a father or a son perspective or whatever, someone used to go out of the house and then someone used to come back, right? Now it's like everybody is inside. So that is a lack of personal space. So if you feel that, say it. If you need to kind of be in your room for some time, you want to go out for some time alone, you have to say it politely. I'm not saying pick a fight, but if you're feeling claustrophobic, if you're feeling restricted, if you're feeling monotonous, you have to break it. Okay. So personal space, define your personal space, define your physical space. Okay. Now the other side is the lack of physical contact. Now, what does this mean? It means different people. Even things like office colleagues, your Uber driver, your auto driver, your bus driver, people traveling by train. They have so many people have like these social communities within the train and all also. Okay. Senior citizens have missed, they've been really missing out on that physical contact, so even these small things plays a major role on our mental health. Okay. Lack of physical contact makes a huge difference. Okay. Then you talk about misunderstandings and miscommunication. I think this is the worst of all. When I talk about work from home, I think this is the worst problem. मैंने कुछ बोला, उसने कुछ समझा, मैंने कुछ email भेजा, उसने miss कर दिया. I think this is something which is the worst thing. Okay. And more importantly, there is so much of coordination. So when we are able to do something in half an hour, when we are sitting across, same thing we're trying to do work from home, it is taking longer, 1 hour, 2 hours, and then on top of that, if there is a miscommunication or a misunderstanding, that's the worst. Okay. But please understand, try to make a system. Now, there are two levels. We are talking about an individual level. We are talking about a manager level at a top management level. Okay. So there are a lot of things which need to which have to have a protocol, which have to be put into system. If this can be done, whether it is complete work from home or a hybrid model, this is something which will help to reduce these misunderstandings and miscommunication. Okay. If there is a problem, pick up the phone and talk. Instead of just sitting and non-stop sending messages or emails, pick up the phone and talk. I think that's the most important thing. We just don't like to talk. I know it is irritating to be on a video call or a voice call and then sit and call, but that's just the way it. Okay. If it's a problem, stop it before it escalates to become a bigger one. Okay. Be really careful. Okay. What are the indirect impact? Lack of furniture. That's what I meant. When I started the talk, that's what I meant. There's no lack of furniture. People had to buy furniture. Okay. It was an economic expense. People had to buy technology. People didn't have Wi-Fi. People didn't have laptops. So all these things, see, this is something which should have happened in the beginning. And I'm hoping that it is settled down. But this is what has, constantly been added. Kuch na kuch ho hi raha hai, and things are not coming, and the work is not good, but my expenses have increased, which is further adding to the mental pressure, mental tension. Okay. Of course, there are a lot of companies who have, samne se given out furniture. They've given out like a credit that, you can spend this much on your work from home setup, you have standing desks and everything. So you have these companies who are doing it also. But even if your company is not doing it, you still have to create your own space. You still have to create your work from home space. Hopefully it should still not be your bedroom, but even if it is your bedroom, mark out a space for yourself. There are times where I do have to use my bedroom, and that's not a really big problem. That's absolutely okay because it is marked out. Okay. As long as you're not using your bed often, that's what is important. Okay. Moving on. So we've already covered a lot of what can we do, but let's quickly recap. Okay. So first we said check ergonomics. Okay. So that's your space, your furniture, your Wi-Fi, so that there is no constant repeating and, oh, I can't hear you. Can you do this? All of that. Okay. Second most important is set boundaries. Please mark out your start time, mark out your end time. If it is a 10 to 6 job, please try to stick to it. Now, two cases over here is that emergencies आ गया, suddenly call आ गया, चलेगा. उसमें हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. A lot of people have, very volatile working times also. We can't do much about that, but you take care how much ever you can. Okay. It's not an ideal world. It's not an ideal work situation, but we have to make whatever best we can do. Okay. Now, the other thing is that efficiencies. When you say efficiency, if you are able to finish something in the office in 1 hour, why are you taking 2 hours, 3 hours at home? That is one thing. So first is what we spoke about was miscommunication and coordination. Okay. But apart from that, if you are sitting and working and you are constantly checking your phone in between, okay, notifications, emails, WhatsApp, Instagram, social media, just because you think you're taking a break or you're not even taking a break, but now you're so used to reaching out to the phone. This is something that I have gone through. I have gone through this myself, and I was not on social media, but I was on email. I was on WhatsApp. Something or the other, I'm sitting and typing a prescription and, my phone buzzes and it's an email. It's an important email. Not as important that I have to leave my current work and reply to that. So what I realized is I stopped all my notifications, not my phone. I didn't stop my phone. I stopped my notifications. So when I stopped my notifications, I was in a way able to complete what I was doing. Okay. Or suppose I'm in a consult. I will stop my notification for 3 hours. I have given everybody instructions that if there is some emergency, you will call me. Don't WhatsApp because I don't get notification. Don't send me an email, no notification. Okay. And if it is not urgent, please send me an email. I will respond to you within 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Okay. So you have to set time. You got to set a time like, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning. I will check my emails for half an hour. Do it. Finish that work, then move on to the other. So if you can't concentrate on one thing at one time, it's going to break your link. It's going to break your thoughts. Because when I am typing something and if it breaks my thoughts, when I come back, I take double the time to finish it. Why? Because I'm gathering my thoughts again. Okay. So it is extremely important that when you're doing one thing, concentrate on the one thing. If you have others, so now my distraction was notifications. If you have any other distractions, please understand their distractions. You have to work on them. All right. So set a time, you have email, social media, set a time to unwind. Please set a time for doing some hobby, set a time for spending time with your family. If you're not going to set a time for family, if you're not going to set a time for your self-care, then obviously everything is going to encroach, everything is going to overlap, and you are going to have problems. Okay. So you have to define your boundaries. You have to define your time. All right. I care. I think we've already gone through this, so I will not repeat this. Acceptance and self-care. Okay. I think this is again something which is important. What do I mean by acceptance? Now, first you have to accept the situation we are in. Okay. No one accepted COVID. It was very out of the blue. We didn't see that happening. No Jochi could predict it also. Okay. So ho gaya. Till we don't accept ke ho gaya, this is a situation. Work from home is a situation. There is some restrictions, but it is not that we are stuck at home. We are safe at home. We are protecting ourselves. We are protecting other people by staying at home by working from home. Till we don't accept the situation, we will never be able to adapt. Otherwise, because we'll keep fighting it. ये क्यों हुआ, ये कैसे हुआ, अरे वैक्सीन ये है, डॉक्टर्स को पता नहीं है, रिसर्च कुछ भी बोलता है, no one has answers. It will keep going into a negative vicious circle, not for anybody else, but for you. If you don't accept what is happening, it's going to be a big problem. Because acceptance say, then you can make changes, you can make behavior changes, you can adapt, differently. So many people who couldn't go to gyms, सब exercise ही बंद कर दे. But if you accept कि अभी ठीक है, अभी फिर खुल गया है. But if in that 2 years, if you would have had a regime which you could have done at home, if you would have been open to doing some exercise, from home, or like an online thing, or whatever, you would have been in better shape today. Okay. So accept it. Second, acceptance is it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have long days. It's okay to, be low. It's okay to be anxious. Okay. If there is a problem, it's okay. No day is going to be happy. Not every day is going to be the best day of your life. Okay. As opposed to we should try to make it the best day of our life. That's okay. But it's okay if it's not, because life is going to come with its ups and downs. Okay. If we try to fight that, we are going to have a big issue. I know internet lets you believe that every day is going to be the best day, but no, it's okay to have bad days. All right. If there is a problem, speak out, reach out. Do not suffer in silence, whether it's your spouse, your parents, in-laws, management, office, your boss, whatever it is. If you're genuinely feeling unwell, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling, there's too much of workload put on you, you can't manage, please reach out for help. If you're going to suffer in silence, eventually it's going to backfire very badly, where the management starts talking about quality of work and, all of that. So you have to be very careful. Okay. Be proactive with self-care. No one in the world is responsible for your health. It is only and only you. I am a very strong propagator of self-love, self-care, self-responsibility. If you can take care of the entire world. It's excellent. I'm very happy that you're doing that. But if it's coming at the expense of your health, it's not worth it. If you can take care of yourself, you are reducing someone else's burden also. And if you are in better health and shape, you can take care of anybody. So even if you're working extremely hard, you're doing it from home also, it doesn't matter if it's coming at the expense of your health. Okay, so that's something that you really need to be careful of. Few quickly other factors. Nutrition. Okay, eat on time, chew thoroughly, and eat good home cooked food. Please don't order continuously. Once in a week, twice in a week, 1 or 2 meals, absolutely okay. बट आज काम ज्यादा हो गया, आज कोई मेड नहीं आई, चलो ऑर्डर करते हैं, वापस कल भी करेंगे, परसों भी करेंगे, एरेटेड ड्रिंक्स आ गए. It's not going to work. Okay. Packaged food, you really have to minimize. There is absolutely no time. Let's have conflicts. Once in a while, okay. There is genuinely no time. Every day I'm having good breakfast. आज time नहीं है, ठीक है. आपने cornflakes खा लिया, muesli खा लिया. Of course, muesli is a better version also. But if you know you can plan better, you can schedule better, then please do that. Okay. Do not miss meals because of not planning. You have to give yourself priority. You have to keep at least 15 minutes for every meal. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you can give another 5-10 minutes for an evening snack or something, it's very refreshing. Please do that. Okay. Sleep. Like I said, boundaries. पहले क्या होता था, ऑफिस से निकलना है, चलो 8 के 10 बज गए, बट निकलना है. Okay, 6 के 8 बज गए, बट निकलना है. So we used to try to push ourselves to finish. Now it is, अभी तो इधर ही बैठ के करना है, अभी आप 8 बजे करो कि 12 बजे करो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. That's not the right way to do it. Okay, so you have to define your boundaries, that you have to fix your sleep time. Look at about 7 hours, 8 hours, that's your choice, no problem, and fix your wake up time. The more you fix your circadian rhythm, the better your health, the better the belly fat, the better the circulation, the better the heart health, everything, the better control on inflammation, the better the immunity. So you recover when you sleep. So if you're not sleeping, understand you're not recovering. You're like a half charged, mobile phone. काम तो कर रहा है, but कब off हो जाएगा पता नहीं चलेगा, ठीक है? So please be careful about sleep. And last but not the least, it's the mind, gut, and body connect. Okay, they're all, 3 of them are already connected with each other. If you have a good day at work, you feel happy. If you have a bad day at work, you feel sad, and that's okay. But understand that it is just work. It is just a day. It is just an hour. If you start going into a shell which says, मेरे साथ कुछ अच्छा नहीं होता, मेरे से सब बुरा होता है, then that anxiousness will only increase. Okay, so we spend a lot of time. Minimum, I think we spend 6-8 hours, and maximum, I know people spend 16-18 hours working also. So when we spend so much time on work, then we must enjoy it. We must give it importance, but not so much that it controls our life, it controls our family, it controls our health. So please be extremely mindful of what you're doing. Please enjoy what you do. I will never say कि आपको काम कम करना चाहिए. कम नहीं करना चाहिए, ठीक से करना चाहिए, smartly करना चाहिए. That is the most important thing. It doesn't matter whether it's home or office. Okay. And I like to kind of end with this slide. I think I'm going to use this on everything. आपको जो करना है अभी करो. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for the first of the month. You have to make the change today, now, whatever needs to be done. Okay. So if anybody has made, any notes, and if you'll have picked out already what is going wrong in your day-to-day from a work from home perspective, I hope you can start making the changes right from today and not tomorrow. Thank you so much. Okay, Rashi, I think we can take some questions now.
Yes, sure, doctor. Thank you so much, doctor, for this wonderful talk. So we already have a few questions. Let me start, and others, you can start putting your questions. We'll take it one by one. Okay. So there's someone who's asking, just wanted to check whether the blue tinted glasses for eyes work for kids and adults, and if it is recommended and safe to use. The teachers are asking kids to buy, given they have so much screen time at the moment.
Yeah, so it is a new upcoming thing. I mean, people have been using it, but now it's again getting famous. Personally, I have not used it, but I have only heard good things about it. So if the teacher is recommending it, then probably you can use it. But like I said, it's eventually you're going to have to limit your time anyway. But wherever you have to use it, it should be okay. I have personally not used it, but whatever I've read about it, it's showing good results, positive results.
Okay, great. Any treatment for lower back pain due to prolonged work from home?
It's the same thing. First is posture correction. If you're going to slouch, big problem. Okay. Currently, if you have the pain, you can't sit for more than 30 minutes at a stretch. I said 60 minutes for a normal time, but if you already have the pain, you should try and get up, walk 5-10 minutes, or just 2 minutes also, and come back and sit. Okay. You can get a nice supportive pillow where, so you have a curve, right? You have a curve in the lower back. So if you can put like a rolled pillow, or you have like a protruding pillow, it's called a lower back pillow. You can get that. You don't have anything at home, take 2 towels, just roll it and support it. Okay. Normally, when the pain is there, you should use a little bit of cold compression, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, just to relax that area also. Once the pain starts going down a little bit, then you do start doing your back strengthening exercises. But at the same time, the posture should not get incorrect again. That's the most important.
Great. The next one, when we have neck and shoulder pain, is exercising good during that pain period?
Okay, see, what you need to understand is there spondylosis or is just a postural thing? Okay, so if it's just a postural thing, you should exercise actually. But if it is, see, the point is if it causes more pain, when you're exercising, it's causing more pain, you're getting dizzy, you're getting lightheaded, you're getting nauseous, then you can't do, or you have to change the type of exercise that you're doing, or you need to speak to an expert to kind of understand what you should be doing. Okay, a real life example is my wife. She used to constantly complain about the neck pain. She used to talk about shoulder pain and upper back pain, and she used to do this all the time, constant. And literally, I'm not exaggerating, but we started, I was always into the weight training, but Shada, my wife started doing the weight training with me. And I think, I don't know when the complaining stopped, but I noticed, I think in about 2 months, she was not complaining anymore. Okay. But the only reason I'm comfortable telling you this is because I was there to help her. I was there to guide her कि क्या करना है, कैसे करना है,
Right.
छोटे छोटे weights use करने हैं, थोड़े थोड़े करने हैं. Okay. But what I can tell you today is start basic. You have to do your shoulder rotation. Okay. PT. Okay. Side. You got to take your hands up side. Okay. Neck this much up, not too much down. Okay. Touch your ear to your shoulder. Don't rotate your neck. Please avoid rotating. Ye nahi karna hai. Try to rotate as much as possible. Okay. And then there's an exercise called chin tuck, where you push your chin behind this. Okay. So when you do this, you can actually see normally what happens is when you're doing too much of head down, there's like a bump which starts coming here. So when you push your neck behind, you will actually see the bump disappear. Chin tuck is one of the most important exercises we should be doing every day. Once you get more regular with this, you'll realize that these aches and pains go away. A little bit of sesame oil application on the neck, upper back and shoulder should continue. At the same time, posture correction.
Okay, great, amazing insight. We have a similar question again. Exercises to be done or avoided while lower back pain.
Same thing. Anything that is causing you pain, you can't do it. You will have to look out for an expert. A physiotherapist would be the best option. Okay, a good physiotherapist. Otherwise, if the pain is not too much, we have this knee to chest. We lie down, we take the knees to the chest. Okay, there's something called as Bhujangasana. Okay, this pose, like you kind of take your, again, these are yoga poses. So if you have never done it, you don't try it by yourself. All right. So people who have not done it, you have to reach out for help. But otherwise, the bridge pose, the Setu Bandhasana, where you're lying down and you pick up your hips. Okay. These are 3 things which I have been doing. I've had injuries in the past because of the gym. So this is something that is my go-to. But again, when there is acute pain, you don't do anything. You rest. When the pain is kind of getting better, then you start light exercises, preferably under an expert.
Okay, great. We have another question. People off lately are getting hypertension. What kind of exercises do you recommend them?
No, it is hypertension. So before you exercise, you have to reduce your tension. Okay. So जब तक tension कम नहीं करोगे, तब तक कुछ नहीं होगा. But of course, see now again, when you're saying hypertension, one is it really serious? You need treatment. Please go ahead and start the treatment. Don't fidget. Okay. Second is oil, salt, sugar. Increase your vegetables. So ये सब आपको कम करना है. Packaged food वगैरह कम करना है. And आपके vegetables वगैरह fiber increase करना है. Okay. Then first exercise that you should talk about when it's hypertension is breathing exercises. Start doing some light breathing exercises. Don't do Kapalbhati and all. That's too aggressive. Light breathing exercises is actually very good to reduce the blood pressure. Okay. Meditation works at multiple levels to reduce blood pressure. That's very good. Okay. But if you are known कि आपको पता है कि hypertension है, दवाई भी चल रही है, ऐसा कोई rule नहीं है कि you should not do weight training. That's a big myth. All you have to be careful is don't do very heavy. Okay, don't do very heavy exercises. Don't do too much of HIIT and Tabata, which is like high intensity. What you should prefer to do is low intensity. Aram se karo. So things like yoga. You can of course go for a walk. You can from the walk go into an interval walk. You can go into a jog. If you're good, you can go into even running. But that's all very, very gradual, keeping a check on your pulse and your BP. So you're free to do everything, but gradually.
Great. So we just take the last question, doctor.
Yeah.
Any suggestions for ankylosing spondylitis?
Ankylosing spondylitis is a very different ball game. This is nothing to do, of course, people suffering. So this is an autoimmune condition, okay? And it mostly affects your back. please understand, anybody suffering from this condition, first you have to know whether you need the medication or not. If you need the medication, please don't fight your doctor. You will feel better, because otherwise you're just going to have stiffness and eventually the back kind of interns, and this is how you will be. Okay. So please don't confuse spondylitis with ankylosing spondylitis. Okay. So that's a medical condition, autoimmune condition, which needs to be treated at the right time. If you believe in alternate therapy, that's a choice. Of course, you can do it. But if you see the stiffness not getting better, if you see you're bending a little bit more than usual, then you need to opt for the right treatment. Okay. From exercise perspective, honestly, whatever your back allows you to do, because there will be a lot of things which you might feel restricted because of the stiffness, and depending on what stage you're at, that makes a huge difference. So please be careful. Preferably, if you're starting again now, to 100% you have to be under a physiotherapist. But if you've been doing something, get consistent with it. It will really help you reduce the
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me, doctor?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So I actually told you that will be the last question, but I have just one question.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. It says, can you repeat 2020 rule for the eye?
Yeah. So it's 20. So every 20 minutes, about, let's say, chalo 20 ne to 30 minutes kar lo, but 20 minutes mein you have to look 20 feet away. So normally I recommend sit near a window if possible. Of course, don't you have like a little blind, don't put the glare in the eyes. But if you can, then you look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. For 20 seconds, your eye will readjust, the muscles will relax, and then come back to your laptop or your phone or books or whatever you're doing. And this is even important for all the students, 10th standard students, Rashi, all our students also, we should force them to do this. I think that's very, very important. So right. 20 is, you can kind of always, you can like put it somewhere so that you get a constant reminder, but it's going to be like a eye saver for you. It's going to be really helpful.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Akshat, for this wonderful insight. I'm sure all of us here have learned a lot today. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your kind presence.